Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Matt, thanks for stopping by. Now I'm sorry this review is a little bit later than my typical Sunday book reviews, but I just got back from a long weekend at the farm, so no fishing this time, mostly just tractoring and mending fences and bush hogging, that kind of stuff. But I am pretty excited about doing this review. This is the next one in the Stackpole Favorite Flies 4 series. If you recall, we've done Pennsylvania, the Catskills, here's Maine. I'm going to be doing that one probably in a couple of weeks. But the one I've got for you today is Favorite Flies for Oregon by John Shewey. Now this was published in 2021, and we've talked about John Shewey on here before. He's a pretty noted steelhead fly fisherman and tyer, and we reviewed his classic steelhead flies last year. He's currently the editor for American Fly Fishing magazine. So let's talk about his contribution for this Favorite Flies 4 series. So it's very similar to the others. About 120 pages, good quality paper, nice good looking pictures, and 50 patterns in it, which is roughly laid out a couple of pages per pattern. Now the first 10 pages of the book, that's really an introduction. He talks a lot about the history of fly fishing in Oregon. And he talks about a lot of the tyers that we've talked about on here. Got Randall Kaufman and Ken Moorish and of course Polly Roseboro. And each pattern has a nice picture of it, and then the recipe, and probably 2 pages of the history of the fly. Now if you're wondering, are there a lot of steelhead patterns in here? Well, you'd be right to ask that because there actually are. I mean, it's a book about Oregon. There's plenty of steelhead fishing and sea-run cutthroat out there. And some of the patterns we've talked about and tied on here. You've got the freight train and the skunk and the green butt skunk and then the spruce fly. But there's plenty of smaller stuff in here too. Think Polly Roseboro and all his fuzzy nymphs. And there are a lot of big western stoneflies in here. You've got Clark stonefly and Kaufman stimulator. And the Normwood special, which, take a look at that. That thing reminds me of a cross between a stimulator and some kind of big fuzzy nymph, I guess. So my first impression on the book, it's really another great book in this Stackpole series. And who is it for? Well, it's definitely for an Oregon fisherman or someone from the Pacific Northwest. But I would say it's also a great book for any East Coast steelheader. Now, if you're strictly a small water trout fisherman or you just chase warm water bass and panfish, it might not be the book for you, unless you just like the history of our sport or learning new patterns to tie. But really, there's nothing that says you can't take a steelhead pattern, tie it a little bit smaller and make it a trout streamer. And I doubt there's a smallmouth bass out there that wouldn't just chomp down on a big streamer if you fished it effectively, stripping it through their holding water. So overall, it's really another great book, and I think pretty much any tyer would get something useful out of it. So that's it for the review. Now the fun stuff. And of course, I picked up 2 copies of this. Let's give one of them away. Now, if you're new here, how we do that, just leave a comment. Anywhere in the comment, let's put #Oregon. Say anything you want in the comment, just make sure you put the hashtag or # and then OREGON. Now, Friday night, March 25th, 2022, I'll go to the random comment picker, find some comment that used #Oregon, and I'll get a copy of the book in the mail to you. So that's it, everybody. I appreciate you watching. Y'all have a great week. See you in a few days.